So how's it going, my comic chat army? We're here today with Roland Mann, the creator of Trumps, Cat and Mouse, Switchblade, Prey, and what else am I missing?
That's all the new stuff. I got Bear. I got Bear. I did that one. Hoping Haley has the art for number 2 really soon. But a lot of folks might know me, might remember some of the stuff in the late 80s and 90s. I did a book called Demon's Tales. Don't have that one handy. I did some Rocket Ranger. I did some Planet of the Apes. I did BattleTech for those people who are gamers. So yeah, just a handful of stuff. But yeah, you listed all my new stuff, so that's what I want them to go get.
Do you got diamond codes? Are you in Diamond Lunar?
We are working on. I'm hoping within the next 30 to 60 days.
Okay.
So fingers crossed. We haven't got that worked out yet, but we are working on it.
So what is the process to get your book through Diamond and Lunar?
So Lunar, I don't know. Lunar, I've never worked with. I would assume it's similar to Diamond. The Diamond, basically, you just have to send them a book. They've got to approve the book. They have, they have standards. So they say. But you just have to send it to them. They have to approve it, and then you have to tell them when the book will be out. And then you have to send them like the price, the solicitation copy, which that's just a little paragraph that tells you what the comic is about. And then they'll put it in their catalog. That catalog then goes out to the retailers. So after you've done that, they'll collect all that up, put it into the catalog. That catalog will go out to the retailers. The retailers will then have 30 days to make their orders, get them back to Diamond. Diamond then will take all of those orders, compile those the numbers, send them back to you, and say, "Here's how many copies we want," and then you print them and ship them within 30 days. So just dealing with the Diamond, it's about a 3-month process.
Wow!
For just one book, yeah.
And anybody can do this? Any indie comic creator?
Sure, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, they don't have any restrictions as to who can do it. I mean, clearly, they already work with the established publishers. They work with Marvel and DC and Archie and Boom and IDW and that kind of thing. So, so those guys don't have to get approved. Those guys, they just say, "Hey, here's our offerings for this month."
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're new. You got to get approved. The last time I was in the catalog was in the probably 2000. I did when I was in the last time Silverline was in the catalog would have been probably 2000 because I did it before, and then I went to Malibu, and then Malibu got bought by Marvel, and then Marvel declared bankruptcy and fired everybody. And that's when I decided to start Silverline after that. And so I went ahead and got all the stuff into Diamond in the late 90s. I think 98. So I was in there from 98 to 2000.
Nice.
But that was the last time I've been in there. So
well, we're gonna make it back. Yeah, you're gonna be in there soon. So we haven't talked in 2 whole years.
I know,
which is strange because normally I would have cycled back by now. But what have you been doing in the 2 years we talked last?
And we have just been making comics. Let me just show you. So I talked to you when Silverline first kind of got started, right? And because we got started in 19 is when we got started. So we hadn't been around, we hadn't been around too long. But in that time, we made comic books.
Yeah.
This is what we've been doing in that time. All these are, of course, different comics. Lest people think that I'm showing you just a stack of the same comics. These are just all the different comics, but that we made. I think I tried to count them, and I think there are 32.
Nice.
So yeah, and then we're kickstarting. We just finished a Kickstarter. That would be 34, and then in about a week we're going to launch another Kickstarter for another 2 comics. So we just make comics. We're just busy making comics, and that's what we love to do. That's what we enjoy doing. And if you're on Twitter much, you see a lot of drama. We try to avoid all the drama. We try to stay away from that. It's not that we don't have opinions. We certainly do, but we try to stay away from the drama because it doesn't really. The way we look at it, it doesn't really do anybody any good. We want to make comics. We want to make comics that everybody can enjoy. And that's what our focus is. Our focus is on making comics, not on drama.
All right. I think that's going to be the title for this interview.
Making comics, not drama. I like that.
Yep.
I'm gonna write that down too.
What book are you kickstarting?
We're gonna be kickstarting a new book, Cape Town #1, and Friar Rush #3. Friar Rush will complete that miniseries. So we're gonna be doing 2 books. I gotta write this down or I will forget. Making comics, not drama. So we started off doing 2 books, because it just kind of makes sense. We have 2 different creators that can kind of promote. We can kind of share promotional efforts. And then we said, we got some extra books ready. Let's do 3. And so we did 3, and that went over pretty well. And they said, well, let's do 4, and we did 4, and that went over. And they said, well, let's do 5. And so we tried 5. Yeah, that didn't go over. And so we're like, okay. So we probably reached a saturation point. And so that was in November. So we didn't do anything we canceled November. I'm sorry, that might have been, was that November or October? I have to go back and look. But we took, December off, and we kind of retooled kind of in-house and said, okay, let's go back to doing 2 comics a month. I'll tell you though, Cody, dude, we got, I got 4 or 5 comics finished right now that we could kickstart.
Right.
It's just we like making comics. The people that hang out with the Silverline crew, we like making comics, and so I think that's from my perspective, that's a good problem to have, because I hear so many people, so many comic book fans complain, hey, I backed this Kickstarter, but I didn't get my book. And that's one of the things that we kind of decided early on, is that's not who we want to be. You might not like our book, right? But the thing that you won't say if you back our Kickstarter is that you didn't get the book. So.
What state are you in?
I'm in Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm down near Orlando.
What cons are you going to attend this year?
So my first show is not coming up until I think it's March. I am not March. It is April. April the 8th. I will be doing Olo Orlando, which is it's just a 1-day show in Orlando, kind of in the downtown area there. And then after that, on June the 3rd, I'll be in Tampa for a 1-day show there. I know I swapped some messages with you about that. I don't remember the name of that show, but it is a 1-day show in Tampa. And then those are my first 2 shows for the year.
Is it just going to be you? Is there going to be other creators joining you?
At Olo, it'll be just me. In Tampa, it will be me and Tommy. Tommy will be there with me. So Tommy, my traveling buddy, he does a lot of the shows with me.
Let's see what I want to ask. Did you come out okay during the hurricane that happened? I think it's Ivan.
Yeah. We lost power. I don't remember the name of it, but we lost power for several days. I got a little generator that will power my refrigerator and freezer, and just so we didn't lose food. But we lost power. Other than that, we did fine. When you lose power, you just kind of sit around and stare at each other. We sat on the back porch a lot. Because it can get warm in the house. Although if I remember correctly, that the day after it was a pretty cool day. I mean, temperature wise. So we used the generator. We unplugged one night. We used the generator we unplugged the refrigerator, and we plugged in a big light that we have, and we sat around a table and played cards. So that was with my son and his girlfriend. So
nice.
yeah, that was fun. But yeah, we came out okay. Now we did have one of our team, Jose, was hit pretty hard. He's down in the Fort Myers area, and I'll be honest with you, it has only been until yesterday. We got a message from Friday. Yeah, yesterday that they found them a place to live since the hurricane. They have been bouncing around from place to Airbnb to hotel to friends. They've just been bouncing around since the hurricane, and they finally got them a place to stay yesterday. And so he's very we swapped messages, and he's very, very thankful that's finally happened. So yeah, that was pretty tough down there. So much water. I mean, I crossed the big lake, and here next to us is called Lake Jessup, and it was high. You could cross the bridge, and it was in over the banks and into the people's houses that were right on the shoreline. So it was pretty bad. But no, we were okay. We weathered it fine.
Yeah, I think we went 15 days without power, and
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it took our back lanai, but everybody's okay though.
Good. Yeah, that's what's important. And did you have a generator to kind of keep your refrigerator and stuff going?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the important thing, I think, is, you miss the power, you miss the internet, and if it gets warm, you miss the air conditioner. But as long as you can get you a cold drink and a sandwich, you can always grill. Don't grill in the house, but as long as you can still do some of that, you can make it okay.
So if anybody has their comic that they want to submit to you, are you taking submissions?
I'm not. We took submissions when I first started, and part of the problem was, and part of the issue was, I like stories. I'm a comic fan. I make them, but as you can see behind me, right? I am a comic book fan, and when we first got started, I did take submissions, and I took on several projects, and it just kind of overwhelmed me because I'm doing all the editorial, just me. And I have a full-time job as a university instructor, and so it just overwhelmed me, and I just had to say stop. I anticipate that we will take submissions again at some point in the future, but I would like to finish some of these like we just finished Trump's the Kickstarter that we just finished. That was the last issue of Trump's. This Kickstarter that we're doing now was for Friar Rush #3, and that's the final issue of Friar Rush. So I think we're getting to a point where we're having, and we finished in September. I think we finished Twilight Grim. So we're beginning to put some of the projects that we've started. We're beginning to finish some of those, and so I think once we can get a couple more of those done, I'll be able to look around and say, okay, what else can we do? What else can we bring to the table as far as projects go? We tend to always keep our eye out for artists. That's kind of, I think, anybody. I am an art fan. I love looking at art, and just the way things go, we tend to always need pencilers in particular. We kind of have our stables tend to be pretty full for our inkers here, but we're always on the lookout for pencilers. I know we've got a couple of projects that the penciler that did the first issue was not able to do the second issue, and so we're looking for some artists to come along and finish those series. So I don't know. People ask me about a date, and I hate to give you a date and then me say no, that's not going to happen. So my answer is just at some point in the future, I think that we probably will again. But for right now, I'm just covered up, and I can't afford to take on anything new at this point.
All right, that's fair enough. Um, so dead or alive, who would you want to make a comic book with? Who is your dream team?
Oh man. If I could write it, I would love to have Walter Simonson do the artwork. I would love for him to pull on his lettering buddy John Workman, one of my favorite letters. All you got to do is look at some of the classic Simonson Thors that he did. That was Simonson and Workman. Yeah, I would. That would be kind of my dream. That I would love to work on a project with him. I got to work on a project with Mike Zeck. You familiar with Mike Zeck?
No.
He's the guy who drew the Spider-Man, the Black Spider-Man costume in Secret Wars.
I got a picture. I've met him.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
I'll send you the picture.
Yeah, super nice guy. He did the Punisher, some of the first Punisher miniseries. I'm sure the covers that you've seen. Done some great Captain America covers. I want to say he might have done. He might have done Kraven's Last Hunt. I think he did Spider-Man story Kraven's Last Hunt. Fantastic artist. I got to work with him when I was at Marvel. So that was fun. We did a miniseries called the Eliminator, and you can find that in the back issue bins now. I co-wrote it with my friend Hank Knaltz, and Hank and I wrote that, and Mike Zeck penciled it. And man, I forget the inker's name. Somebody that Zeck picked. I can't remember the inker's name at this point in time. I don't remember. But yeah. Yeah, so if I had my dream pick right now, if I could do it, I would love to work with Walter Simonson.
Okay. At the Comic Cons you go to, has anyone brought you any of your old Marvel books to sign yet?
Yeah. I got there's one guy locally here. I don't know where he gets the list, but he always comes up to me with something new for me to sign. And he's like, here, I got this for you to sign. And I'm like, where in the world did you find this? Just some of the most obscure stuff, Some of it's the kind of thing that you really have to be looking for and know that I did it in order to find it. But yeah, it's not unusual. Particularly some of the old Cat and Mouse. They'll bring me Cat and Mouse to sign. I sign probably every other show. Someone will bring me some Cat and Mouse to sign. Not every show, but maybe every other. And then folks will bring me some Ultraverse stuff that I worked on with Malibu. I did the Planet of the Apes. I don't see as many of those as I used to. But when a couple of years after Planet of the Apes came out, the miniseries that I did, I used to see that one quite a bit. But yeah, they still bring them up occasionally, and I don't mind signing them. I don't mind them bringing up.
It's a little blast from the past, right?
It is. Yeah. It kind of makes me feel good to know that some of the folks out there are at least familiar with some of the older stuff as well. As not just the newer stuff, but some of the older stuff.
Right. Well, is there anything you want to say before we go?
No, just keep supporting Indycomics. Check out Silverline. If you are an independent comic book reader, I would ask that you give Silverline a chance, because like I said, we might not be as flashy, we might not be as famous, we are certainly not as filled with drama. But as you saw from that stack of comics I held up, we just make comics. And we make all different kinds of comics. We make science fiction, horror, and I'm a superhero fan, so we make some superhero. We made one that's kind of aimed at a little bit younger audience. It always bothers me because I think did you get a package for me today?
No, it says it's coming Monday.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So in there, I think I included a copy of Bear. It's not a kid's book. But people look at the art and assume it's for kids. Now it's not like adult, right? We don't do any of that kind of stuff. And I think that's the other thing is, people are like, oh, well, I want naked boobies on my comics. I'm like, okay, I don't have any problem with that. You do what you do, but that's not what we do. But yeah, if you're a fan of independent comics, give us a chance. I don't think that you'll be disappointed.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comic Chat Authority? Oh, come on, subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.